Hi, I'm Misty Purcell. Welcome to the Luminous Fiber Arts Flosstube channel. If you're new here, I am a cross-stitch designer. I love designing cute and whimsical cross-stitch that will make you smile. And I've got two super cute patterns today that I hope will brighten your Christmas decorating and stitching season. So I'm going to be talking about my new designs. I'm going to share some other crafts I've been working on, some weaving and some knitting, and I'm going to have a holiday decor tour at the end. That's a really fun thing. I love doing it every year because I decorate with cross stitch and handmade things, vintage found items, thrifted things, put them all together, and it's just really fun. So I hope that you'll stick around for the tour as well, and hopefully it will inspire you. So let's get started talking about my new designs. I have two new Christmas designs to share with you today. I'm really excited about them. The first one is called Merry Friends. I went with a Merry theme this year, so everything is titled Merry. This is Merry Friends. Super cute, and I just wanted like a frosty, soft, wintry scene. That just felt cozy, kind of nostalgic. So I have Snowman, and we have Rudolph, a little young Rudolph here. And they're holding a banner that says Merry, and there is a pair of cardinals, gingerbread house in the background. Got some trees covered in snow. There's a little snow scallop on the bottom. And then got holly and berries at the top, the holly leaves and berries. We've got candy canes on the sides. And then we have sparkling snowflakes with beads falling down. And then I finished the pillow with a red stripe and vanilla rickrack trim. This was my first time trying to sew the rickrack into the seam, and you can see that this was not like the best job that I could have done, and it's not terrible. So I need to practice that more, but I was trying to do it quickly, so it is what it is. At least it's on the bottom, right? But I love how this turned out. I think it's super soft and sweet. Really love this one. So let me tell you the details of what you need to know. And this was stitched by Pamela Ray. She did a beautiful job. The snowflakes, the beads are secured with full crosses. Fabric is pistachio linen by Fiber on a Whim. Beautiful fabric. I'm all out of the fabric, floss, and trim for this one. That's all sold out, but I have the pattern in print and PDF format on my website, so you can check that out. I'll link it in the video description. It's luminousfiberarts.com. You can also get it from your favorite needle workshop. And so that is the story behind that design. I'm loving having it on display. It goes right there, but I took it down so that I could show it to you. So let's talk about my next design. This design is called Merry Stitchmas, and I just love the idea of Santa stitching. He's crafty like we are, and this was really, really fun for me to design. So I drew this up in Procreate first. So Merry Stitchmas I just drew, or Merry Friends I drew in my cross stitch software, but this one I drew in Procreate first, and I actually designed it as a greeting card originally, and then turned it into a cross stitch design, redrew it in my cross stitch software. So I think it turned out super cute, and he backstitched the word Merry. So Dancer is here, he's holding the hoop. Santa has backstitched Merry. He's got a skein of floss, he's got his tapestry needle. They're both looking really pleased, they're both smiling, and they're happy because they're making a gift for Mrs. Claus, a handmade gift that they know she will appreciate. So it's a nice surprise for her. She is stitch worthy, Mrs. Claus is. So I think this turned out super cute. Let me tell you about the supplies for this one. So this is a mix of overdyed floss and DMC. The fabric is Vintage Tiffany by Fabrics by Stephanie. And this was beautifully stitched by Sandy Alba. Thank you, Sandy. So it includes full cross stitches and some back and long stitches. The snowflakes are 2 strands rather than 1, so that they'll pop off the fabric, and they pop off really nicely that way. Also, the word Merry is 2 strands instead of 1. The rest is 1 strand of the floss going from the hoop to the needle, but Merry needed an extra strand to make it stand out well enough. I guess that's all I wanted to say about that particular design. I think this would be super cute in a stitching area if you were going to display like your stitching vignette, especially at the holidays, or just you want a Christmas piece that celebrates stitching, because who doesn't, right? So this is super cute. I have the pattern available on my website in print and PDF format. I have the greeting card available on my website. If you want to send a stitchy friend a special little surprise to let them know you're thinking of them, special holiday greetings. I have the overdyed flosses, a limited amount of them on my website. And then I have a little bit of the fabric left on my website too. And I have it in a variety of counts and fabric bases. So not just the 32 count linen that was used in the model. I have some other options for you if you'd like those. This was a fun release for me. I just really enjoyed these designs. They were fun for me to design. I've enjoyed having them on display. So yeah, it's been really nice decorating with my stitching this year. I always enjoy it, but this year I got to take a little bit more time. Wasn't quite as rushed to put things up, and so it was just fun to play with my displays a little bit more and think through different things I would do. So all of these designs are on my website, luminousfiberarts.com. It's linked in the description below the video. You can ask for them at your favorite needle workshop if you'd like. And thanks for checking them out. Let's talk about what I've been working on craft-wise. So I've been doing some weaving, and I'm embarrassed to see in my project notes that I actually started these towels in January of 2025, and I just finished them in December of 2025. In my defense, I did have like some pretty bad tendonitis going on, which is why I was not weaving for a while. I wove too much in the lead up to Christmas, pushed myself too much, and then had to back off for months. So arm is feeling good, just gotta take it easy. I did get the weaving done, and this is what I wove. This was a pattern I've been wanting to try. It's from Gather Textiles, from Gather Textiles. And it's a really pretty stripe that reminds me kind of like a ticking. So this has just been on my mind, and I finally decided I was going to make it happen this year, and I did. That's pretty much the only thing that happened. And I love how these turned out. So this was my first time using what's called Cottalin, which is a linen and cotton blend. I've been using cotton, like 100% cotton up to this point. And I haven't stepped into full linen yet because it's kind of like if you ever think about like learning to sew zippers, some people say that sewing a zipper is just so hard. It's actually fine, it's not hard, but same thing with linen. A lot of people say it's like super difficult, and so I've been afraid to deal with it. And mainly it's kind of unruly, and you need to keep it humidified, and it's unforgiving in some ways. And so I'm not as precise yet in terms of like my measuring out of yarn and things that I do that I feel confident doing linen. But this did, having even just like a little bit of linen, this is 40% linen, 60% organic cotton. That little bit of linen, I'm like, oh man, I do need to work my way up to doing some linen sometime soon because this feels so nice. In the meantime, cotton linen, great. So I made these, I gifted one and put some in my shop, and then I kept this one, which was a little short, for myself so that I could see how it was, and I really love it. You can see it's nice and soft and drapey and squishy, and it should continue to soften more. That's one of the nice things about linen. It will continue to soften more over time. So I just love this and hope to use more cotton linen this next year, and getting excited to start another weaving project soon. So yeah, really enjoyed this. Lots of fun to weave. Just very simple, which is about all I could manage mentally this year. And then I had one other thing. This is, I didn't weave it this year, but I finished it this year. So I've had leftover bits of weaving from other projects, especially where I made like a weaving mistake and then it couldn't become a towel. I've been saving them to sew them up into things. Anyway, I made stockings. So I put those in my shop. This is like an extra one I did for a friend. So I added the holly leaves and the berries, but I thought these turned out super cute and hope to do more in the future if I have time, because I think this little tiny stocking is just so fun. So yeah, I had red and white, I had blue and natural, and then I had this, which is like a navy and a green, and I thought they were all really fun. So I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed the towels and purchased the stockings, and I hope you'll love all of them. And it's exciting for me to make something for you for the holidays that you can enjoy and that brightens your day. I love doing that. And so this was really fun for me to do this little extra bonus shop update that I did recently with these Christmas items. So yeah, I'm looking forward to lots of weaving projects next year, but you know, I had that idea about 2025 and we can see how that went. So we'll see. But like I said, my arm's feeling good, so I am optimistic that I can do more weaving this year. So I've been in a knitting mood lately, and I've been doing a lot of knitting and enjoying it, or what's a lot for me lately, considering that I hardly do it at all anymore. So I wanted to show you some of the things that I've been working on. The first thing is when I showed, I don't know, some time ago, and I finally finished it, and it's this tiny jumper. And it's called Mini Jumper by Say Little Hen. And I knitted it on, I think it was size 0 double pointed needles. And this is using Madeline Tosh Merino Light. And I don't remember the exact colors. I think this is Antler. I don't remember what the red is, but very pretty, super cute. I'm gonna make a hanger for it and hang it on my tiny knitting tree, my tree of tiny knits. So this was a fun little pattern. I'll link it in the video description in case you're interested in checking it out. But yeah, I'm loving the tiny knits. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. The pinstriped fingerless mitts. The pattern is free, and I knitted this in Tosh DK in Grapefruit and Oscuro. I'm not entirely happy with how these came out because you can see a little bit of, I guess I was catching the yarn from a previous row, so it just doesn't look as clean as I would like, but I overall liked the idea. Since these are striping, changing every row, I decided to experiment with helical knitting, which I had never done before, and that's where you kind of do like a barbershop pull. Every round you're slipping a few stitches to kind of change where the join is, basically, so that it looks smooth. And I also experimented for the first time with doing one long circular magic loop. I hadn't done that before, and I liked that method actually a lot. And the helical knitting was interesting. The difficult part was that you get to a point where you're dealing with thumb stuff and increases and decreases and stuff. It just was like, I wouldn't do it as a beginning knitter because you have to think about what are you going to do to fix it, because it won't work perfectly. It gets to a point where you need to slip stitches and you're doing something in the middle of them, like doing an increase. I guess it wasn't a decrease, it was all just increases for the thumb. Yeah, so these turn out okay. I'm not entirely in love with them, but I think they feel really nice. I just think maybe Oscuro's too dark and that it wasn't as tidy as I was hoping. And I think even though I watched a lot of videos about like making it look pretty seamless, it's still, you can see right there, it's not perfectly seamless and down here. But they're nice mitts and I won't feel bad, I guess, with them being not perfect. I won't feel bad wearing them and using them and letting them get kind of, so that was an interesting experiment. I do like the pattern. The pattern did not say that you needed to do helical knitting. That was just something that I looked into as a way to deal with the striping. And that pattern is by Jen Joyce Design. So those are my two finishes, and then I have two knitting projects in progress. I have a hat and I have a tiny sweater. So let's see, the hat, let's talk about that first. My friend designed this hat, my friend Cynthia. Some of you have met her. She helps me at market. And we've been friends for a long time. She designed this hat. It's not obviously finished here. This is gonna be the cuff and it's gonna fold up, and this is called a fake out thrum. And it's using 2 different thicknesses of yarn. And this hat is not published yet. It's, I think, still in the testing phase. She does have some published designs of this idea though. So she has a published leg warmer pattern, mitten pattern, and sock pattern with this idea. But so this is the cuff, so it's gonna be folded up, and then I'm doing the decreases at the top. I'm about to start those, and I'm using 2 shades of blue from Malabrigo, and I think this could be really pretty in the winter and very warm because you've got a nice thick yarn in there to help keep you warm. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing this, and I'm excited for her to publish the pattern when she's ready. So I love tiny knits. I got this Japanese knitting book off Etsy, and that sweater right there, I just thought it was so cool. Turns out when so I don't speak or read Japanese, and I was just hoping that I knew enough about knitting that I could figure out or fudge whatever I didn't understand. So this book has, a lot of cute sweaters in it, but when you open this up, it looks like just a pullover. Actually, it's like a backwards cardigan so that it will fit a doll with a giant head. So it needs buttons on the back so you can put the doll's sweater on her and button it up in the back. I'm gonna knit this just gonna knit the front twice. I'm not putting it on a doll, it's just gonna be a decoration. So I'm working on that, and I just tried to interpret the pattern as best I could. So here's where I'm at. This is size 000, double pointed needles, but I'm just using 2 of them. I'm just treating it like regular knitting needles, and I'm knitting it flat. I thought about changing the pattern to knit it in the round, but I decided not to this time just because I don't totally know what's going on in the pattern. Man, it's been a while since I did some cables, especially like multiple different cables in one pattern. I'm trying to remember what's going on from one to the other. It's definitely harder than I remember it being, so I don't know if it's old age or being out of practice or what, and it's just harder to see really tiny fingering weight cables, but it's looking cool, and I'm excited to see what happens. But yeah, so this is like, what, half of one front? Maybe, not even quite. But the sleeves should be faster. I'll just work on it as I do. It won't be done this year, I'm just planning, and it's a concentration project, which is part of the thing. It's just gonna take however long it takes. I have to concentrate. So just a quick life update before the Decor tour. I am doing well. It has been a very, very busy fall for me. If you don't know, I am a teacher. I teach college Spanish. I was assigned to teach a different level that I haven't taught in a while, and so that was great, actually. Like, it was interesting to do, and I enjoyed it, but it meant that I had a ton more prep than that time that I would have spent on Luminous Fiber Arts I needed to spend on my classes. So Luminous Fiber Arts got a little neglected for the past 4 months so that I could, do my job. But now that I have taught that class, whatever class they give me in the spring, I should be much more prepared. I only had like a week and a half, 2 weeks notice, and then, so it's not a lot. So I'm looking forward to having more time to spend on Luminous Fiber Arts and show up more, hopefully around the web. I don't know that I'll have a video in January, but I will definitely be back in February to talk about my upcoming releases for the spring. I'm working hard on them now. I've got 2 more to finish up, and that'll be exciting to have that all ready to go, and I can't wait for you to see what's coming out next year. I'm working on the mysteries. Those are in progress, and I'm starting to get ready to design for 2027, if you can believe that, but time flies, so yeah. All is well. I hope all is well with you. Want to wish you very happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate all of your kind comments, your encouragement, when you purchase a design, when you share what you've been stitching. I so appreciate you and your kindness. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the Decor tour, and I will catch up with you in the new year.